here. What do you give on it? 25, 50, 75, $100,000. You are listening to the Auction is Action with You in It podcast presented by Call to Auction, where our favorite four-letter word is S-O-L-D. Sold. Hello there, everyone. Bobby D here with the Auction is Action with You in It podcast. And I want to say welcome back. And I am so excited to be talking about this conversation today, talking about the number one successful thing that you need for your fundraising auction to be amazing. All right. Well, tonight I'm pulling back the curtain on what's actually happening behind the microphone at a fundraising event, because from the outside, it can look like the number one factor, your auctioneer is just talking fast, is just cracking jokes, and is just calling numbers. But that's not the job. The real work is invisible. And when it's done right, the room feels it. So what is a professional auctioneer actually doing on stage? Well, when I'm on stage, I'm not thinking about the words. What I'm saying, I'm reading the room. I'm watching body language, and I'm tracking who has given before and who is yet to give. I'm noticing who's leaning forward, who's sitting back, who just whispered to their partner. I'm managing energy, not the volume. I'm managing the momentum, not the noise. I'm deciding when to slow down, when to pause, when to move forward, and when to let the room breathe. A professional fundraising auctioneer is doing 5 things at once: listening more than talking, creating safety for the donors to say yes, protecting the mission moment, controlling time without rushing, and making generosity feel amazing. And that's our job. Now, the power of pacing and tone and timing. Pacing is absolutely everything. Now, fast doesn't mean effective. Loud doesn't mean confident. Sometimes the most powerful moment in the fundraising, auction, and paddle raise is silence. Tone tells the room how to feel and a calm tone creates trust. And a confident tone creates leadership. A warm tone creates permission. Timing is where our money is made, and asking too early kills that momentum. Asking too late misses the opportunity. Great auctioneers don't push the room. They move with it. They guide it. They dance with it. And when you get that pacing and tone and timing right, the room almost raises money itself. But a great auctioneer can command a room without shouting. And here's a secret most people don't expect. You don't command a room by being the loudest voice. You command a room by being the most grounded presence. People follow certainty, not volume. Now, when I step on stage, I'm able to slow my breath, plant my feet, get grounded, and let the room come to me. Now, confidence is what creates authority, and authority is what creates attention. Attention creates generosity. And if you ever feel like you're yelling to get control of a room, well, you've already lost it. Now, auctioneers are so much more than just the entertainment. Yes, we are entertaining. And this is why it's so important that your auctioneer is focused on the fundraising. And auctioneers are just way more than just comedians. Now, this one might ruffle a few feathers. Now, fundraising is the absolute most important thing instead of being funny. Now, jokes can distract, jokes can disrupt, and jokes can really turn some people off. Now, fundraising, true fundraising is what creates a clarity. Now, clear numbers of an auctioneer, what give donors structure, and structure give donors confidence. And again, confidence gives donors that permission to give. And by having an auctioneer that understands their true role, they are able to help encourage and inspire your donors to take action. Now, every time an auctioneer rushes the numbers or layers in extra words or tell bad jokes, you introduce confusion, and that's not good. Professional auctioneers respect fundraising. They let donors process the ask. They give the room a space to respond and take action. Now, money doesn't just move because you're funny. It moves because you're clear. It moves because you're concise, and it moves because you know how to fundraise. Now, what's the difference between an MC and an auctioneer? And who should do what? This is where many events go wrong. The MC's job is storytelling, it's transitions and warmth. The auctioneer's job is building momentum and clarity and the ask. Now, when one person tries to do both, things blur. The MC sets the emotional table. The auctioneer invites people to act. And when each row stays in its lane, the event flows. When they don't, momentum breaks. The record scratch happens. It's not about ego, it's about execution. Now, auctioneers can play the MC role, but we got to make sure, again, that we've got to delineate what the MC role does and what the MC says, and then what the auctioneer does and how they're able to interact with the audience. So important. Now, behind the mic, the best auctioneers aren't performing. They're listening, they're leading, they're in the moment, they're protecting that moment. And remember, auction is action, but only when done with intention. Now, if this episode helped you to see the craft differently, maybe share it with someone that's planning a gala, or maybe stepping behind the mic for the first time. So I want to say thank you so much for spending a few moments with me today here in the Auction is Action podcast, presented by Call to Auction. I'm Bobby D, CEO and founder and world champion auctioneer and auctioneer coach with Call to Auction. Now I'm going to see you in the room where it happens. Thanks again for everything that you do and the impact that you make in the world. Keep staying awesome. We'll see y'all on the next episode of Auction is Action with You in a Podcast.